Yeah, so welcome to this role release webinar. So Sam and I are just going to run through some of the recent changes in the last couple of updates that we've pushed through, as we will with other webinars, or we have with other webinars. We're recording this and make this available later in the week so people can watch at their own leisure. So I'll hand over to you, Sam, if you want to sort of run through each of these items.
Yep. Thank you. So welcome, everybody. Welcome to those who are joining us live, and welcome to those who are going to be watching this later on. So today we're just going to run through a few things that we've recently released. So I'm going to show you a new widget on the dashboard, some new columns in the company search, a new feature with LinkedIn. So it has a quick link to go to the client's LinkedIn profile. For those of you in New Zealand, we've got some new updates with TradeMe with custom branding. We've got a new sales pipeline to do with contacts, and also we have a new training register. So they're the things that I'm going to go through today. I'll start off with this new widget. So on the dashboard, we have a new widget here called Open Bookings. And I'll just show you where you can find that. So you can customize your dashboard up here. And this particular new widget is called Counter Open Bookings. And what it does, it will show you, first of all, the total of open bookings that are in the organization. It'll also show you how many that the particular user has claimed and how many have been assigned to that particular user. And these are actually links that will take you directly to the bookings report. So if I click on this one, I'll just open it in a new tab. This will take me and will show me all of the open bookings. Okay. If I click on this one, assigned to me, right click on here, it'll show just the ones that are assigned to that particular user. So it's really good. It saves you having to define your bits and pieces up here. And it's a really good snapshot to show you what current bookings you have at any particular time. Okay. The next thing is the company search. So when you do a company search from up here, company, I'm just going to search for Sahara. It's a company I made before. We've got these two new columns here, which shows you if there's any job profile linked at the company level. And it also shows you the parent company for that particular company. Okay. So these columns are there, but you may not be able to see them yet. You will need to define these columns in your report view. So you can do that up in user, and here are your report preferences here. So if you go companies report columns, you'll see at the bottom these two new columns, and you can select these here. Okay, and that will allow you to view that new company report. Okay. Now, LinkedIn, we have a new feature with LinkedIn. So I'll just go to a company. I'll just go to Sahara. And what this allows us, I'll just grab the LinkedIn URL here. If we edit the company, so I go Tools, Edit Company, and down the bottom, if I put in the LinkedIn URL, and obviously this will be a real link to the real place. This is just the standard link I'm putting in here. What this does is it actually brings up the little LinkedIn icon down here in the address box at the side. And when you click on that, it will actually take you direct to that link. So that was just the regular LinkedIn link that I put in there, but it will take you directly to that particular company's LinkedIn page. Okay, so you can edit that.
Just make a point on that, Sam. So one of the benefits, obviously, of that is that you can quickly see somebody's LinkedIn page. But some clients will actually actively target clients or potential clients via LinkedIn advertising. And you may know, but if you don't, you can actually create an audience on LinkedIn for advertising. And if you provide in that audience list the company LinkedIn page, then LinkedIn can then target those specific employees that are also on LinkedIn of that company. So it may not be something that every agency needs, but if you were advertising on LinkedIn, hypothetically, this could be a good way to have that data in there and then produce a report to get that out to upload into LinkedIn for your target audiences. So yeah, so
perfect. Yep, thank you. Okay, now the next one is to do with advertising with TradeMe. Now this is specifically for our New Zealand friends. For those of you who don't know what TradeMe is, it's basically the New Zealand version of Gumtree, and it has a job posting board similar to Seek. So I'll just show you. So I mean, this is the New Zealand demo client here. If I go to view and edit down here, so we have your normal your Seek advert and your Trade Me advert. Now you upload these the same as you would with Seek. So you upload the image, you provide the image to Trade Me, and they will give you a PIN number. Okay. So when you receive that PIN number, you just have to pop these in here, insert them, and then they'll become available in that drop-down list when you're adding in your logos and your banners. Okay, so that's just for Trade Me. So that's just for our New Zealand clients. So your banner ID, your logo ID, they are provided to you by Trade Me directly, and you just put the code in there and save it. Okay, so they're just a couple of the little bits and pieces. The next two things I want to show you are two big new features that we have. The first one is a sales contact pipeline. Now, some of you might be familiar with the leads and opportunity pipeline that we already have in the system. Similar to that, but this is specifically for new contacts. So if you put in a new contact in a system, you might have specific workflows that you want to work through to make sure all the steps are covered, generate tasks so that you cover all the activities you need to secure a new to secure the new contact as a new client and to get jobs in the system. So it incorporates two existing features. It incorporates the activity sets and it incorporates the pipelines. So for example, we've got some activity sets we've already made. I'm just going to go up into here and show you the activity sets that we've got.
I think you're in the New Zealand one too.
I'm still in New Zealand. Right,
yep.
Let's get rid of New Zealand. Go back into Australia. Activity sets. Okay, and these activity sets are going to be specific for the contact. Okay, so here are some activity sets we've created, and you can create whatever sorts of activity sets you like and incorporate whatever sorts of tasks you like that are specific to your company. But in this example, we've got lead validation, we've got meeting with the client, and we've got order and approval. So these are sets of tasks, and each one of these will contain tasks. So for example, lead validation contains the tasks of an intro call and connecting the contact on LinkedIn. So this is an existing feature. This is activity sets. So you're going to be defining new activity sets specific for your contacts. Then we need to create a pipeline. And the pipeline is what is going to hold the activity sets and generate the tasks. So we can create our pipeline under opportunities, manage pipeline. And again, the usual ones we have are for companies. This is for your usual lead and opportunities pipeline, but we want one for contacts. Okay, and you can create a new one here. So here's one that we've already created, and we've called this pipeline the sales process. So if we click in here, we can see I have two steps, and each step contains one activity set. So the three activity sets I showed you before are here. I've only put two in so far, and I've got the third one sitting up here. I haven't added that in yet. Okay, so what you can do, you can add a step, and then any activity sets you have created for your client, you can drag in. You can give this one a name. What will I call this one? Let's just call it approval. Okay, you can assign it a pretty color. Okay, and he will be saved in there. So we've got our three steps in our pipeline.
And what we can save pipeline function.
Don't forget to save. So if I had more activity sets, they would appear up here. Because I only had three, I've only got the three options to make as individual steps. So each of these is a little group of tasks, which I can then attach to a contact, and it will auto-generate the tasks depending on how I've defined them within the activity set. So the first step is to set up your activity sets and set up your pipeline. Now you can add that to your contacts. So if I go in and view my contact list, okay, I've got three contacts. I've got Selena, Carolina, and Sarah. You can see here I've already added the sales pipeline to these two contacts. Okay, you can see the name of the pipeline here, and we can see the stage. So we can see that Selena is just in the first stage, whereas Carolina is in the second stage of the pipeline. So this is where those colors that you choose come into it. You can see nice and quickly where each contact is in the pipeline. So I want to add the pipeline to Sarah. I can just click on Sarah. Pipeline, I've only got one available. But if there were more, I could choose it from the list, add the pipeline in, and I can see here are my steps. Okay. So if I go back to my contact list, I can see here, I've got this one around the wrong way. I've got approval first, but you have them in the correct order, and they'll show in the correct order here. Okay, so each of my contacts are at a different stage within the pipeline. Now, I've assigned those to my contacts now, and it's generated tasks. So if I go into my dashboard, into my tasks for the day, you'll see that I've got tasks here for my particular contacts. So the tasks automatically generate depending on how many days you've specified that task to generate based on the time that you link up the contact with the pipeline. Okay, so that's just incorporating features that are already in the system, the activity sets in the pipeline, to connect that to contacts so that you can do tasks such as linking them to social media, sending out quotes, for example, doing site inspections, getting orders, all the sorts of tasks that you want to do when you get a new contact on board to turn them into a client. And you can define them whatever meets your particular company's needs. Okay. Anything to add to that one, Declan? I think I covered it.
No, I think you covered everything. So yeah, I mean, as you were saying, it's very much a framework. It builds on the existing sales contact list, and you don't necessarily need to have a sales pipeline or contact sales pipeline for that functionality, as in to use your sales contact list. It's just some of our clients like to have a pipeline at the contact level of steps that a particular contact's going through. In difference to at the company level, which is what the opportunities do. So just a way of managing that process and tasks.
Yep, beautiful. So the last thing I want to show you is the new training register. Now this is brand new. So this has got two components into it. So I'm going to show you just from the aspect of a user. So we can view this as a particular user. Just go to user training. And this is going to show training modules that have been assigned to a particular user. So all these training modules have been assigned to me. And I'm going to show you where these come from in a moment. This is going to incorporate two aspects of training. It's going to have training from RecruitOnline and Pinvoicer that we will be providing and having made available for users to go through. But you can also use it for your own in-house training. So things like training a new user on your own in-house policies, procedures, workflow. You could use it for professional development, any sorts of things like that. You can use this training register for that as well. So as a user, they will see all of the training that they have to complete. Okay, they will click on it, and they'll see here, this is what our new lots of training are going to look like for RecruitOnline and Pinvoicer. They're going to be interactive with quizzes. They'll be in here. The user completes it, marks it off, and it gets marked as complete in the system. Okay. From your end, what you will see is, I'm just going here. Okay, so it's under Other Advanced Training Register Manager. Okay, so these are all of the tasks that have been pushed through from us. So these are all of the RecruitOnline training modules, and you can assign these to any user that you want. Okay, now the training is organized in groups and types. So you can organize your staff into whatever groups that you want. The ones from RecruitOnline and Pinvoicer will be in the group all role or all Pinvoicer, and you can then assign them to whichever user you want. Or you can make your own groups for your own in-house training. So for example, I'm going to go up here to manage group, and we can see here are the groups. So these are the ones that are coming directly from us, from RecruitOnline and Pinvoicer. But these are the ones that I've made in the local system. So I've made a group called manager, a group called recruiters, a group called admin, a group called all. And you can set these up however you like, however you define your groups. It could be the types of recruitment, it could be levels of management, it could be however you want to break up your teams, for example. So first of all, we have the groups. So define your groups there. Then we also have the types of training. So it could be a how-to, it could be what we've put in here, Pinvoicer and role training, it could be procedures, policies, professional development. You can add these types to be whatever you like. And it's just a guide so that you know what type of training it is. So when you're adding in new content, you can define exactly what type of training it is. Okay. So what you can then do is you can add in your content. So the content from us will be streaming through. It'll be those interactive activities. It could also be videos, web articles, things like that. From your end, you can upload any sorts of content you like as well. So you can upload a file, a PDF, a PowerPoint, Word document. You could make a YouTube video. You could direct them to another website. Any way you want to create your own content for your policies, procedures, workflows, you can do that and you add it in here. So for example, here's one I made before. I've assigned it to the type of a how-to guide. I've applied it to the group of admin, and it's the workflow for processing new applications. And I've popped in a document. I haven't put a document in here, but you can put a document in.
Yeah, you have. It's an application. Yeah,
okay,
it was that PDF.
I thought I had.
Yeah.
So I can then assign that to anybody, to any user. So here's my list of users here. So I can choose my user, and then I'm going to assign them the group. Okay, so when I assign a group to a user, they are going to get all of the tasks that have been put inside that group. So if I assign admin to Sam, insert the training module, then Sam will get all of the items in that training group. Okay, or again, if I select manager, whatever I've defined into group manager, all of those training tasks will go in there as well. Okay. Now, as I was saying, the new RecruitOnline training, these are going to be released gradually, periodically, because they are still in development. I'll just go back to the user here. So here, these are the ones I assigned before. So using job profiles. So this particular user, Sam, they've got all of the role training ones. Okay, and then they've got the admin one that I popped in as well, processing new applications. Okay, so I'm just going to show you this using job profiles. So this will be the format of the new RecruitOnline and Pinvoicer training. However, if you wanted your in-house content to be this interactive format as well, we can create that for you. So you can create it yourself with Word, PDFs, PowerPoint, however you like. But if you did want it in this interactive format with quizzes and things like that, that is something that we can provide for you as well. Okay. So for a user to access that, you can start using this now. It's all ready to go for your own in-house stuff. User training for the user to access their training modules. And to set it up, it's under training, register, manager. Define your groups, add in your types, and then add in your content. And then just assign each user a particular group. You can assign them multiple groups. So I could assign all of these to Sam, and she would get all of Pinvoicer, all of role, all of manager, all of recruiters. Okay, so it's up to you how you define and what you want to give everybody there.
And just another thing to mention, when somebody who's been assigned a one or more training items to do, when they log in, there'll be a message just between that one that you can see on the screen and the top that just says you have training items to complete. If they click away, click that to get rid of it, I think it comes back in about half an hour or something like that. So, yep. And when somebody completes it, if they then set in your user system who their manager is, then that person will get an email saying, this particular user has completed that task, and you can run a report on it.
Yeah, there's a report as well. Yeah. So nobody's completed anything at the moment. So these are all showing as incomplete, but there is a report as well. So that will show you. You can filter by this as well.
Yeah, and by user and that sort of stuff.
Okay, so yeah, if anybody has any questions about any of these features, feel free to lodge a support ticket. We can help you out. Or if you're wanting any extra training on any of these features or any existing features in the system, again, pop in a ticket. We can organize that for you. And also, if you're wanting to have any custom content made for your training register, we can look at that for you as well.
Great. Cool. I think that was all the items for this.
That's all I got. That's it.
Okay. No. Well, thanks for that, Sam. So yeah, as I said, we'll get this recording on so people can have a look at it in their leisure. And in the meantime, if there's any questions, feel free to lodge a support ticket. We'll take it from there. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. See ya.